Yeah. See, we slightly migrated to the synchronous, right? Asynchronous process. So actually, the synchronous process means synchronous. Okay. Till last session, we worked on the synchronous process. Like the results will be happen immediately, like Apex classes and triggers that comes under as synchronous. They has their own governor limits also. Okay. For asynchronous, when it comes to the part of asynchronous, the only thing of asynchronous is it won't show the results immediately. You can't expect the results immediately need to be happen at a time. Okay, it will take time actually. Okay, whenever the system is free, it will be executed. System is means your organization is free, then it will be executed successfully. So here, if you observe earlier, we have been worked on the future method. There are a couple of things are there. Future method is there. Okay. Queuable Apex is there. Apex batch job is there. Schedulable Apex will be there. Okay, these are the four process what are available in the asynchronous. That means without interaction, you cannot see the results immediately. It will happen somewhere else, sometime. Okay, that comes under this one. So let us see today schedule job. Okay, let us see today schedule job. Will come each and everything. Okay, we have seen already future method. See, like piece of block. If a piece of block, if I want to transfer from synchronous to asynchronous, a piece of block is there. It's a method. Okay, you simply create a method with a public static and the method name, but you have to do annotations and you have to apply the annotation to the system. Okay. So you have to apply the annotation to the system. That means then this piece of block will be happened in the future handler. That means it happens in the future whenever the system is free. That's what we have been given annotation. Annotations mean the first annotation we have been used. The annotation means giving intimation to the system, saying to the system, boss, please consider this piece of block as a synchronous process. Okay, so that's what we just give information to the system. Now there is another option called schedulable Apex. Okay, schedulable Apex will be there. Okay, this is an Apex class. Let's say, for example, scheduler Apex means the meaning of scheduler Apex means, okay, I have a task, perform that task in a certain time, not immediately. I'm not expecting the task need to be happen immediately. I will mention some time, customized time. I will like let's say for example, send an email, send a birthday email, okay, for all my customers, or send a promotion email to all my customers for a respective time, like tomorrow or day after day. I want to do some actions. So in that kind of things, we can go and use this schedule Apex. So the name itself, it is saying scheduled Apex. That means you are scheduling your Apex class. Till today, you never scheduled. You are expecting the results need to be happen immediately. So how we can deal means this is, let's say for example, click a new Apex class. This is a normal Apex class. Okay, this is a normal Apex class. Now, if you want to become this Apex class as a scheduler, you have to apply some rules and guidelines. Okay, so that rules and guidelines are nothing but this interface. What is this interface? Schedulable interface. Okay, what is this interface you have to use? Schedulable interface. How you can use here? Implements. 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 Have you seen such kind of an implements? Yes, we have seen an example. An example called a BMW car. BMW car. I want to build a BMW car, but it has to follow some rules and guidelines of the car specifications. Similarly, I want to build an Apex scheduler class. So it has to follow some rules and guidelines of schedulable. So that's why how to use implements. So schedulable is an interface given by the Salesforce. So we are using that. Why we are using means we are going to schedule this Apex class. For that reason, we are going to using this. Okay. So I'm scheduling this Apex class. I'm scheduling the logic to perform some certain time. So in that case, we will be use this schedulable Apex class. This is an interface. We use schedulable interface. When you use this schedulable interface, at that time I showed you, if there any method inside this interface, we have to be definitely override in the lower version, override in the child kind of stuff. So here it is saying something information for you. A class must implement schedulable execute method. So you have to use an execute method. Just come here, copy from this void, put it here. Open brace and close brace. Make the method as a public. So public void system.schedulable. So system.schedule means this schedule only. So it's not required to write this option. So remove this option. Okay. Now it is asking system.schedulable context. It is a method parameter. You have to define a variable name. So I just mentioned as an SC. Now let me save this one. See, now class has been saved. See, earlier you have been used your Apex classes and you call that Apex classes from the anonymous window. Later, you have called your Apex classes from the trigger. Okay, now you converted your Apex class to a schedulable interface. That means this is a scheduled Apex. So if you want to write a scheduled Apex inside a Salesforce, very straight line answer. If you want to write a scheduled class, if you want to write a scheduled class inside a Salesforce, first declare an Apex class. Then you have to use implement schedulable. Okay, then put this context, then put this execute method, because this is a method you have to be override and it has a context called schedulable context. Okay, schedulable context. Now you want to execute something option, you want to execute something else. So you can write your logic here. Here. You can write your logic here. Let us say, for example, I want to create a contact. Contact con equal to new contact. Con dot last name, some test, schedulable contact, and I will give the date also for this one. System dot date, cn dot phone number, so I'm just giving a phone number. What I have done, very simple logic, elementary level logic. I want to explain about this class, so that's why I go for a elementary level logic. I have written a class and I have been implemented the interface of schedule. That means I converted this class to a schedulable class. But when your conversion, in the part of conversion, you have to use execute method, because this execute method, okay, because this execute method, okay, which comes from this interface with a parameter like a schedulable context. CONTACT new CONTACT contact, okay, CN dot last name. What is error variable does not exist system, okay. Save it. Okay. Control Z here. System dot today is not working. Okay. It will work like this. Okay. Remove. Not required. Save it. I don't want to go for a complexity stuff. See, this is an Apex class and we have been used an interface called schedulable and we got a method called execute method. Now, the logic inside this method, we already aware of this logic. It's very simple logic. And now we are going to set a time for this one. Okay. So two ways you can put a time for this one. Let us see how we can set a time. Come here. Come to your arc. So click on setup. Go to your develop sessions. Click this Apex classes. When you click on these Apex classes, here you can see the scheduled Apex button. Every org you can see scheduled Apex button. There are many Apex classes we have written. Okay, we have written many Apex classes. Okay, like we have been used 44% of Apex, 0.44% of Apex classes with this. Okay, we have many Apex classes. Now you just click on a scheduled Apex. Now when I click on scheduled Apex, here there is an option showing an Apex classes. Just click on this one. See, out of those many Apex classes, it's showing only 3, because I have been explained the schedule Apex class for the previous people. I used your arc, so that's why it's showing the data. But no worries. So this is the schedule class, whatever you have created. There are many Apex classes are there. Why here it's showing only 3 means because only these 3 has been used an interface called schedulable. So now I used your class. Okay. When do you want? You want to run in a weekly wise? You choose whatever date you want, you can choose. And you can choose the date, start date and end date also. So it's showing like a 1 month. Every 1 month on this particular weekdays, okay, this 1 month, it is going to run this class. Whenever this class is run, okay, whenever this class is run, the contact will be created. Preferred time. You can set a time also. Okay, you can set a time. Just click on the series. This is the Apex class. You are scheduling that Apex class. In earlier days, we have executed Apex class from anonymous window. After that, we have executed Apex classes from the triggers. Okay, after that, we are executing that Apex class from the schedulers. Now I'm scheduling the Apex class. It is 3 days along this month. Okay, the class has been scheduled. Now you can monitor here. Come here. There is a monitor section here. Click on the logs. Click on the jobs. Here you can see the schedule jobs. When you click on schedule jobs, so these are the jobs what it has been scheduled. So close all this stuff. These are not required. Earlier I have been scheduled it. Unnecessary confusion. Yeah, this is the job which I have been run today. Not run. I submitted today. Okay, still it is not started. Okay, it will start today at 9 a.m. Okay, so today at 9 a.m. I have to wait. Need to be completed. Okay, so getting the point. It's very simple, very simple, very simple. In a real time also we will write the same stuff. So generally it's a very simple line of code, 2 lines of code, Apex class and scheduler and execute method. So now I have been, this logic will be going to be executed at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. today. So we have submitted at 8:48 a.m. Still wait for 12 more minutes. Okay. Now, if you observe this, here I have to specifically put these things here. 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I cannot put like 9:30. I cannot put like 9:45. Now I have to put like 8:55. I cannot put it like, but I want to do that one. So how can you do that one means? How can you do that one means? Come here. There is an option for you. If you observe that, there is an option for you to use these options. See this. From anonymous window also, okay, from anonymous window also, you can do it. This is your Apex class name. Copy your Apex class name, put it here. This is your class instantiation. This is your class instantiation. This is the time cron expression. Okay, this is a time cron expression. I'm going to explain in the next minute. Wait for the time being. Now this is the C. You can run like this. System.schedule. Explicitly, you can execute this Apex class explicitly from the anonymous window as well. So most askable interview question. Your schedule jobs. How can you run a schedule jobs? Two ways you can run a schedule jobs. Okay. From the configuration way, clicking on the scheduled Apex button and choosing your week or a month and specific dates and that start time. So that from there you can schedule a job, or else from anonymous window also you can schedule a job by using of system.schedule. This one will accept 3 parameters. The first one is a job job name. You can give any job name. I will give custom job, and it is asking the cron expression. It is asking the cron expression. I will give the cron expression as a second parameter, and it is asking the object that schedule job object class reference. So I'll give that one. So when I click on execute, yeah, as per specific time, it's going to be run. Now I want to put this time. What is this 20, 30, 8, 10, 2? We'll get a clarity now. See. See, that comes seconds, minutes, hours, date of month, weekdays, optional year. So this is a format what it follows. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, and like that. It will follow. So like this. Okay. So generally in a real time, people use a third-party website called as cron marker. Cron maker. Generally people use these cron makers in a real time. Okay. See, I want to run this job daily. Every day. It starts at 8:53, right? I will go with 8:55. 8:55 generate. So cron expression has been given. So we will copy this cron expression. Simply come here and paste it. Paste it. Okay. Now execute this option. See, it is executed. Now we want to check whether it is going to be executed or not. How you monitor? Come here, open your schedule jobs. How you go to schedule jobs? On the job section, there is a schedule jobs here. Reload it. Here you can see this is the custom job which I have been run. It is run at 8:53 and it is going to be running at 8:55. Still one more minute is there. So every day 8:53, 8:55 it is going to be run every day. Okay, you can see the next schedule run also once it is run. So it's 30 seconds more. You can also monitor from here. Apex jobs. See, your schedule has been scheduled here. Okay. So how you use, let's see the output first, then I can show you one more time. You have only 3 seconds more. Boom. See, it started, right? 8:53, it is started. 8:55, it started. Okay, what happens if it started means it will come here. It will come here, it go to the execute method and it creates the contact. Okay, and again, next run, when it will be next run? 8:55 again tomorrow. So continuously it is going to be run. Every day it is going to be, because you have been given as daily job. Okay, daily job. In a real time, Okay, if we want to bring the data or if you want to send any data to the outside in daily purposes, we will use the schedule jobs. Okay, we will use the schedule jobs. So I will take a help with the cron marker and I will do, you also do the same stuff. Now let's see whether a contact has been created or not. See, the contact has been created. In next 4 minutes, this one is also going to be created. Still it is not started still because we have to wait for 4 more minutes. So this is the way how you can write a schedule jobs. Still schedule jobs is not yet done. Okay, whenever you wrote a batch jobs, we are going to use the schedule jobs again. So because I want to run the batch jobs to be backend, schedule the batch jobs. In that case, I want to use the schedule jobs. Okay, I just wrote a simple logic, not yet done with the schedulables. Still there are a couple of things that they need to be taken care. Okay, so today what you have learned is you are going to use this schedulable interface. When you use this schedulable interface, you are going to use this method called as execute method. Okay, and you can write whatever the logic you want to write, you can write it. Okay, not only this one, you can call your apex classes or anything else. Once the class has been scheduled, you cannot modify this one. See, already class has been scheduled, right? If you see, the class has been scheduled, right? In two ways, the class has been scheduled. If I'm trying to modify and writing system.debug or anything else, saving it, you cannot save this class because it's already scheduled. 2 jobs has been scheduled on this apex class. So you cannot modify this class. So you cannot save this one. Okay, you cannot save this one. So then I want to save this class. Then if you want to save this class means you have to kill this, you have to delete these jobs. Then only your apex class is going to be saved. Until unless it won't save. Okay, so like this it will be there. Now sometimes I want to abort these jobs. Sometimes I want to abort these jobs. There is an option called system.abort job. Okay, then if you put this ID here, so it will cancel that job automatically. It will cancel that job. Let it run. So like these 2 ways are there. To run a batch job, there is an option. To stop a batch job is also there is an option from the back end. Okay, to run a batch job from the front end also there is an option. Okay, to kill a batch job also there is an to kill the job also from the front end there is an options here. Okay, let's wait for 2 more minutes, and you can see another output from here. So generally, you have to go and follow this documentation. This is very, very important. So these are the asynchronous processes what we are having. Okay, so you can see these are the asynchronous. These are the 4 asynchronous process where we are having. So today we have started scheduled apex class to run a specific schedule. So this is a future method we already seen. When you are having a long running methods and need to prevent delay in apex transactions. Okay, and this is another options here. This is another purpose. So sometimes whenever the record has been created and I want to submit that record to an integration part, I want to submit that record to an external system. In that case, okay, you are also going to use this future method. Okay, you're also going to use this future method. And we have seen this example. We got the mixed DML exception. To avoid mixed DML exceptions, we use this future method. Okay, like this different purposes will be there where we are going to use this asynchronous processes kind of a stuff. Now let us see. Yeah, it becomes 9. It becomes 9. Even the manual job is also run and it is scheduled to the next day. And it is scheduled to the next day. And you can see another contact will be created. See the test contact. Okay. So automatically, if you want to perform the logic, automatically need to be happen. So we are going to use this schedule jobs. Still not yet done about the schedule jobs. It will coming into the future again along with this batch jobs. Now there is an option for us batch job. So to work on this batch job, I want to explain you one story for you. Okay, let us see. Imagine it. Just imagine it. I have a sand. Okay. I have a sand in one place. Is my voice is breaking to everyone? Please confirm because someone has raised
Your
a
voice is not clear, Sridhar.
is good or breaking. Is everyone able to hear me clearly?
Your voice is
No,
not
sir.
clear.
No.
Please let me know if you face any difficulties. Okay. Okay. See, now let us see. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is a place where we are having a sand right now. Okay. And this is my destination. This is my destination. Imagine it, just a real-time example. Okay. This is a sand where we are having. I want to pull this sand from this land and I want to be deploy here. Okay. Sand. Okay, I want to deploy here. So I booked a lorry. Okay. I booked a lorry and I completely dumped all this sand, beyond of its capability. Beyond of this capacity, okay, beyond of its capacity, I have loaded all this sand and asking to reach the destination. What happens here? Will it reach? It might reach, it might not be, because it's a fully loaded and it beyond of its capacity. We don't know when it will be a breakdown. Okay, and the performance will be very slow. Let us say, for example, okay, let's say, for example, so we are in a lunch. Okay, we are taking a lunch. If you took a heavy lunch, what happens here? Will you do work or will you sleep? You will get a drowsy rest, right? Your body will get a drowsiness. If you keep on eating, if I give it a full meals lunch for you, okay, and it's a very full for you, okay, what happens? Your body will get a drowsy part. Okay, you cannot walk, you cannot run, okay, because of heavy. Similarly, system is also behaves the same. If you consider this is a transaction, if you're dealing all records, bulk large volume of records within the same transaction, okay, this transaction don't have a capacity to deal everything. It will be failed. Trigger also does a bulkification, but up to how many? 2000 records? Yes, not more than that. Okay, if it is going more than of records like 10,000, it will be splitted. It will be splitted to the multiple things, but you cannot deal, millions of data from a trigger. Okay, so trigger do not have that much of capacity. Then what should we do? So Salesforce has introduced you. So Salesforce has introduced a concept called batch jobs. Concept called batch jobs. So there is a data records. Yeah, there is a problem, right? This heavy truck cannot move to the destination there. Then what they will do? They will split this sand into the different trucks. Okay, they'll make with the 5 trucks or 2 trucks or 3 trucks. Multiple trucks they will go at a time parallelly. Similarly, inside a Salesforce, if I want to deal the data in a bulkify manner, so generally they suggest to go with the batch jobs. They suggest us to go with the batch jobs. Okay, if you go with the batch jobs, what happens is you will get a flexibility. Okay, the data can be split into the chunks. multiple chunks. Multiple chunks called as transactions. Call it as transaction logs. See, I have a data. Let's say, for example, I have 1,000 records. Imagine it. I have 1,000 records. I'm dealing with 1,000 records now. I'm dealing with 1,000 records. I want to send this. I want to update this 1,000 records, or I want to send this 1,000 records to this something stuff. I want to deal these 1,000 records here. Okay. Your batch job can happily deal. Up to 5 million, it can happily deal. No worries. Up to 5 million. 5 million means 50 lakh records. 1 million, no, sorry, 5 crore records. 1 million is 10 lakhs, right? Yeah, 1 million is 10 lakhs, right? Till 5 million means 50 lakh records. Okay. So it deal up to 50 lakh records at a time. So 50 lakh records means it is so much beyond of expectations. Okay. Anyway, I have 1,000 records. So what happens means batch job will always deals with scope. Technically, we can call it as batch scope. So batch scope will be like this. Minimum, at least one record. Default, 200. Maximum, 2,000 records. Okay. This is called as a batch scope. Batch scope means it will divide. It will divide like this. Total records divided by batch scope. Let us say, for example, total records is 1,000. Okay. And the batch scope I given like a 200. What is the value of 1,000 divided by 200? Can anyone? Can anyone tell me the value? It's 5, right?
500.
5, right? Not 500, 5.
Yeah.
2 zeros cancel, 2 zeros cancel. 10 is divided by 5. Okay. So it's a 5 batches. That means what you're trying to say means in a one chunk, it holds 200 records. Another chunk, it holds 200 records. Another chunk, it holds 200 records. So like this. Like this, how many chunks it divided? Okay, 5 chunks. How you said it is divided with the 5 chunks based on the batch scope. If I given 2,000 as a batch scope, okay. Oh no, you cannot give 2,000. Okay, even though if you give a 2,000 as a batch scope, it deals with only one chunk. It deals with only one chunk. If I given like 1,000 as a batch scope here, if I given a batch scope as 1,000, it gives only one batch, one batch. That means all 1,000 records will be happen in the one chunk. If I give the batch scope as a 10, what happens? That means total records is 1,000. And if I give the batch scope as 10, then how many batches it will come? 100. That means each and every batch, it deals with only 10 records. That is called batch scope. అంటే సిస్టమ్ చెప్తున్నావు నువ్వు ఒక ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ లో ఎన్ని రికార్డ్స్ ఉంచుకుంటావు, ఎన్ని రికార్డ్స్ డీల్ చేయాలో ఐ వాంట్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. I want to say to the system, for a transaction, you please deal only 10 records. You please deal only 100 records. You please deal only 200 records. How you are saying? By the batch scope you are saying. Till how many you can say? 2,000. Can't I go more than of 2,000? You give more than of 2000, but the Salesforce will consider only 2000. Like if I give 5000, it won't put 5000 records here. It will take only 2000 records. The maximum value is at 2000. So, and parallelly, okay, these data will be go here with a efficient manner, So that is the greatness of batch job. See, we are dealing with a large volume of data. Your trigger don't have a capacity to deal with that large volumes. So inside a Salesforce, we have only one concept. Inside a Salesforce, we have only one concept to deal large volume of data in a bulkify manner. Means large volume of data like large updates, large inserts, bulk deletes. If you want to do such kind of the millions of data at a time, you have only one option, that is called as batch job. Okay, coming back technically, batch job is also nothing but a kind of an interface. Batch job is also nothing but an interface. Let's see, for example, today I'll give you only the samples. Tomorrow I'll go with the real time. Sample batch apex. Okay, it's already there. Let's open it. For previous batch, I already explained the batch jobs. Anyway, remove all this stuff. See, now I just created a simple Apex class. The name of that Apex class is sample Apex batch. Elementary level. I want to try to understand. First, you have to try to understand how to write a batch job, how to execute a batch job without any syntactic errors. Later, we'll see the real-time examples and everything else. Okay. So this is a class which I have been written, public class sample batch apex. Okay, sample batch apex. Now, as I said earlier, batchable is also kind of an interface. So implements database dot batchable. What do you have to write? Database dot batchable, and you have to mention for which object you are dealing. Okay, so I'll just mention as X object. Save this one. See, first time I have used another interface. Sorry, second time I'm using another interface that is called as database dot batchable. Database is an outer interface. Batchable is an inner interface. So these are the interfaces given by the Salesforce. Simply we are using of it. Database dot batchable. When use database dot batchable, here it's showing the error message. The reason because is this interface is having some methods. How many methods? 3 methods. As like your car specification, there is a wheels, steering and engine, right? So similarly, here we are having 3 methods like start, execute and finish. So we have to override these 3 methods definitely inside this implemented class. So how you can do it? Double click on this. Come here. Copy it like this. Put that method name here. Type like a public. Remove this option. This is called as return type. There are different types of return types are there for this start method. Okay, we will discuss about this one. Wait. So this is a method where we have to be used. What is one of the method? It's a start method. Okay, so that means when you use a batch job, when you implement batch job, you have to override 3 methods. One is start method, another one is execute method, and third method is finish method. How many methods are there here? 3 methods. Definitely you have to use this inside a most askable interview question. How many methods I have to override when I use a batchable? Means 3 methods. One is a start method, and it is a parameter. So you can mention it as a batchable context. Definitely this method will have a return type. So this method is having 2 types of return types. One is query locator and another one is iterable. Okay, we'll concentrate those return types later. Okay, but today, for time being today, we'll go with this one. database dot query locator. Okay, database dot query locator. So when you write a database dot query locator, definitely it will expect some query from you. So I'm making some query. I just written some query and you have to return that one. So get query locator and you have to supply this query. So what this method will do, this method prepare data that need to be participated in batch job. So when you are executing this batch job, first this method will fire and it prepares the data. See, it is getting the data. And it is getting the data from this object. Okay. So let's save this one. When you save this one, see that method issue has been gone and we have another 2 more methods need to be override. And another method is copy from here, from void, place it. See, it is expecting 2 parameters. One is batchable context and another one is a subject data list. Okay. And it is a void, so you need not to be written anything and remove this option because already we got here we have written. It's not required to write one more time. So this is a method. Now let me save this one. Okay. You just saved this. You just saved this class. See, the issue has been gone. Okay, and and it shows only one error right now. Okay. So what this method will do? What this execute method will do? This method will execute logic multiple times based on the given batch scope value. So this method will execute multiple times. That means all those 200 records, 300 records will be available in this execute method. That means if you consider this example, we have 1000 records and we given batch scope value as a 200. That means batch size is 5. So 5 times this execute method will execute. 5 times this execute method will execute. Okay. And in every execute method, it will consider 200 records. So that's what I wrote. This method will execute. So start method will prepare the data and that will supply to the execute method. Okay. So this method will execute the logic multiple times based on the given batch scope value. Okay. And now public void, another method is there. Finally, we can call it as a finish method, public void finish. And also it will contain some parameter called as batchable context. Save this one. See, batch job has been saved successfully. Right? So batch job has been saved successfully. What's happened here? Okay, what is happening here? See, when you wrote an Apex class and you convert this Apex class to the batchable by writing an interface called implements database.batchable. So definitely you have to override 3 methods. The first method is the start method. The meaning of start method is it will prepare the data and it supplies to the execute method. It queries the data from databases. It brings the data into your program. The query chesi the program lo data petkoni execute method loki supply chestadi. Okay. So this execute method will execute multiple times based on the scope what you have been given. Okay. At the end, this method will be executed. This method will execute at the end. At the end, to perform we use this method to perform post commit logics. Okay, and sending an email. We'll see each and every method we are going to be post-mortem in the next coming sessions. and we'll see the real-time examples, how it works and everything we are going to be maintained. But today, your job is to create a scheduled class. Okay, your job is to create a scheduled class and use this method and write a logic and schedule this Apex class from multiple ways with the help of this button, with the help of this schedule Apex button, with the help of this schedule Apex button, okay, or else from anonymous window, you can schedule it like this, system.schedule, okay, okay, you can use this one. And the second thing what you have to do today is write a small Apex class, okay, write the small Apex class, that convert that class to a batchable interface. When you use a batchable interface, three methods will come into the picture: start, execute, and finish. First start method will execute and it prepares the data, it brings the data from database and it store inside this batch job and it will supply to the execute method. So this execute method will execute multiple times based on the scope what you have been given here. Okay, and I'm going to show you technically how this one is going to be executed multiple times in the next session. Now, this finish method will execute at the end. What we are performing means we will do some post commit logics, or sending an email. You'll get better clarity. But this method will execute only one time at the end. This method will execute only one time at the end, but this method will execute multiple times. I'll show you. Now, how to run a batch job? Now we came to know how to write a batch job. There is no real-time situation. I never imposed this real-time situation here. I just concentrated how to write a batch job technically inside an Apex. Okay, I just wrote it. Now, according to me, now how can I execute this batch job? Because I know how to execute the schedule jobs. Now, how can I execute this batch job? Come here. There is an option called database dot execute batch. What it is asking? Database dot execute batch. It is asking the batchable. Batchable means your class name. Come here. Class name, object, new object, right? Copy your object and paste it here. That means I'm saying to the system, dear system, please execute this batch. Which batch? This object. This object is nothing but this one. Okay, I will execute it. Do you want to consider the scope? Yes, you have to declare a scope. What you have been given here scope? At least 1, 200 and 2000. So any one of the values you can give. You can give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also you can give. Okay, 201, 203 also you can give. 2000 also you can give, but not more than of 2000. Okay, even if you give a more than of 2000, it will consider only 2000 only. Okay, up to some certain limit. So now I will give the batch scope as a 200 records. So what happens means when I execute this one, a batch job will be executed. Okay, so it will bring all the data based on the scope, total records divided by scope. It will run the execute method and the logic what I perform here. Either I can update a record, either I can delete a record, I can do so much stuff. The logic will be available here. Okay, now let me execute this batch job. This is for to run a batch job actually. Okay, we will run like this in a real time. We will run like this. We will never give batch jobs to the end users. Administrators can only run the batch jobs in a real time. Okay, or else system automatically pick your batch jobs and it will run for the respective time with the help of schedule jobs. We'll see in the next coming sessions. Today, my concentration is only how to write a schedule class, how to write a batch jobs, how to run a schedule Apex, and how to run a batch Apex. And we'll see examination of batch job tomorrow. Okay, we'll see examination of batch job tomorrow and any little bit of real-time examples based on the complexity levels. So before that, you should aware how to write a batch jobs without syntactical errors, and you should know how to run a batch job. Now let me run this one, execute. Okay, so I just run the batch job right now. Come here, scroll down. Okay, there is a monitor session here. On the jobs, there is an option called here Apex jobs. Open this Apex jobs, you can see batch Apex, right? You can see the batch Apex completed with the one. That means I have only little bit of records are there, like 40-50 records are there, but I given batch scope as a 200, so it's less than of one, so that's why it considers as a one record. Let us say for example, if I given my batch size as one, let's see, that means it will consider one record. Now it will consider one account record. That means execute. Tomorrow also I will show you how to execute the modes and how to check the transactions of each and every batches chunks wise. We'll see tomorrow, and even we can see the limitations also. See, let us see now how many jobs. So it started and it is completed. 59 jobs it is started. Okay, because 59 records are there, and I said to the system, please consider only one record per transaction. Okay, I said to the system, please deal with only one record per transaction. So that's the reason it took only one record. So we have like 59 accounts are there. So 59 records it take, and there is no logic. We did not perform any logic. Okay, just it took the data. Okay, this is the way how you run a batch jobs. Okay, you can also schedule a batch jobs. That is a high level. We'll see that one later. So today your task is to create a schedule jobs, create a batch jobs, execute a schedule jobs, execute a batch job. Okay. Again, we'll see tomorrow about this scope, about these chunks, about the start method, about these chunks and the finish method with some examples, and you will get a better clarity. Okay. So someone has asked a question. Just give me a second. In a batch, the job size in at a time of example 200 records, the destination, if anything failed, where can I find these errors? Okay. Okay. So generally in a real time, if this chunk is happening, if any records got failed, you can monitor from here. Okay, monitor jobs. Here it will tell you what are the failures. I mean, how many jobs has been failed. You will get a count here. That's first point. And the second point is there is an object called async apex job. Okay, we'll come all this stuff in the tomorrow's. There is an object called async apex job. Okay, every asynchronous process, either it's a future, queuable, schedulable, batchable, whatever it may be, everything it will be going to be captured. See, it is captured here. Okay, everything it is going to be captured. You can see number of errors or anything else. Now the third point is, okay, it shows the errors. Which record got failed, which batch got failed, how would I know? Specifically in terms means, okay, so we will create a custom object called as logs, custom object. Yeah, in real time we will create a logs like transaction logs or error logs or exception logs. Any object will be there. We will create a custom object. Okay, from this batch job, if any record got failed, we will capture it and we will store that. We will create a new record in that custom object, and we will capture this error message, and when it is got failed, at what time it is got failed, and everything will be tracked that one. And the fourth option is, okay, we have a logs, debug logs. In debug logs, you can easily track it. Okay, in debug logs, you can easily track it. I did not register today because I registered only till yesterday only. Today I did not register. So that's why I did not get the transaction logs. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see the transaction logs, how we can capture and everything. If you got any failures or anything else. So there are multiple ways at that. Which approach is taken by the customer is depends upon them. Okay. We'll see that option also. I just given you orally today for your question, but I will give you practically tomorrow. No worries. So I'm expecting you to do today completely this stuff here. Stop working on triggers. I don't bother. Okay, but please work on these batch jobs and schedule jobs. At least try to create those and try to execute those. Later we'll think about the complexity level of those stuff. Okay, at least you have to write the code. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting. Please stop working on triggers and focus on this asynchronous process. So if you did not work on the future method, please work on the future method again. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any questions or any concerns, post me in the WhatsApp group so that I can reply on top of it. Okay, so we'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow. On Saturday again I will give a backup of everything. Okay, from triggers to batch job, whatever we have been completed. Again I will give the oral technical on the Saturday so that you will get a better clarity again. Log into your ARC. Why?
It is asking to change the password, bro, and I'm changing it, but
Why
I'm unable
changing
to.
password? Don't change passwords.
I don't know. I mean, every time it is asking new password, new password.
Remote access client. What you guys are doing here? User is inactive. Okay, user is inactive, right? Yesterday we worked on the example, right? So I just inactivated this user, that user trigger handler. So that's the reason you're unable to log in. So let me make it log in here. Now you can able to log in.
Thank you, bro.
You got the point? User is inactive. That's the reason you're unable to log in.
Okay.
Oh, then you missed this trigger, right? మీకు అప్పుడు కోడ్ దొరకదుగా సరే ఇప్పుడు కోడ్ దొరుకుతుందండి మరి ముందే అడగాల్సిందే ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అనేబుల్ టు లాగిన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఆస్క్ మీ బిఫోర్ మీ రైట్ yeah now you can able to be login okay let's try
Yeah, thank you.
okay
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you guys. I'll post this video and you will got the stuff immediately. I'm going to be post this video. Thank you.